We're going to talk about turning point, clickers, its response. It's a response system is what it is. This is essentially just a smart PowerPoint presentation, right? It's an interactive PowerPoint presentation. There are times when technology just does not work. When I'm teaching an acting class, I have to work with bodies and not electronics, right? There is a vocabulary that actors need to know, but it's best learned face-to-face and upfront and personal than mediated. So that type of information isn't really necessary for technology is not necessary for that. Conversely, when I am teaching technical theater classes, I will have a list of things that they need to know. How many of you are in like allied health or math or science? If you're in any of those programs, you'll know that there is a body of information that people need to remember in order to actually apply it, right? Here's probably the most important thing in my mind about this. This interest is developed because we, and our students especially, are very, very competitive. If we look at all the new things coming out, say Horizons, the Horizons reports, and a lot of pedagogical journals, gaming has become important. And creating this sense of competition without any real risk to the grade, becomes a really good way to get in touch with your student. Pick up your clickers. There is a question. I don't care what you really answer. Actually, I do, but not as much as you would think. There is no wrong answer. There's just an answer. Now you can see as people are responding, we're starting to get polling going. What you see right here is, let me close the polling. What you see right here is a pie chart, obviously, of the responses, possible responses. The thing about this question is, I didn't prep it by saying anything, right? Immediately I have you interested in what's going on the screen, because most of you are looking at the screen instead of me, which is actually good in this case. Now, you can use this, and you can assign everyone a specific clicker with a specific number. And you can test them. You could quiz them with this, and I don't recommend it, because what you end up doing is finding that students won't answer because they're scared they're wrong. And I want the students to be wrong, right? School's the only place you can fail. It's the only place you can be wrong and succeed. So this whole idea of discussion does a couple of things. It gives the student a break. They don't have to scribble things down, they can start talking. Now they'll make notes later, usually, sometimes. Okay, maybe not, but they'll remember it at least. And it also gives you a break. It lets you assess, step back and assess and see where you are in this class. Whether you're ahead or behind schedule. Whether you can add that one extra thing in. So little breaks are good, right? We don't want to work for 8 hours without a break because we will die. Well, our brains work the same way in many ways. This is the kind of nuts and bolts portion. First things first, save it on a flash drive. On a flash drive before you go to use it. Always save it on a flash drive. Trust me. The new computers that are being installed now, the flash drives they have 2 USB drives on the computers because they're all-in-ones, and they're very close together, so you can't have the receiver and a flash drive in at the same time. It's awful. But save it on a flash drive. This receiver will not work unless it's in before you start Turning Point. The computer checks and makes sure that the receiver's there. And if you stick it in afterwards, you can't run your PowerPoint with the clickers. It won't work at all. I tried thousands of different ways to do it, and I couldn't figure out a way around it. So put the receiver in. Then what you do is you open the presentation through the Turning Point thing. You click on the little Turning Point, and it opens up. See it says PowerPoint polling? This is where you click to open up that screen that shows you all the PowerPoints. Right? It will open up straight into the slide. It'll open up straight into here. Now you see that I don't have anything loaded in here. I literally have to load it normally. File, open. You go to the place where you're going to open it there, and you will have something that looks not quite unlike that. Right? So there we are. You click on the presentation, hit open, and it takes you to this. In order to put slides in, what you have to do is you have to go back to the Turning Point tab, which puts you here. Now, this little tab here is new, and this is what you're going to do most. This new button here has a menu that opens up. You click this, and you'll see a list of new activities. There are several of them. I put this up. This is the default analogy. Once again, you instantly get a response. So you can actually start, that's an in into the subject matter. It's really, really cool. You know, we all see those shades go down on the eyes. The glazed look. It kind of gets that glazing off of their eyes a little bit. So this is what you see when you select icebreaker analogy. You see all these slide preferences on this side? You can bullet format, you can say it's A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. You can say whether there can be multiple responses to this. You can show the correct answer. There are lots of things you can do with this software that I haven't messed with yet. I haven't assigned teams yet. You can literally assign create competitions. You can assign people to teams using this. Because you can break people up however you want to break them up. And the nice thing is causing all of them to shuffle around. I know, it's hard to remember who people are in a class. And you usually remember because they're sitting there at the door, or you're doing that loci memory thing, right? Honestly, getting students next to each other that they're not normally next to helps the learning environment. This is moment-to-moment polling. So you can get a response to the way students are viewing, whether they find something interesting, say you're doing a video, or anything like that. I would put this up behind somehow. I haven't tried it yet, but see my moves? Now you got a poll, right? Oh yeah, 1, 1, 1. Yeah, everyone hates me. Okay. All right, let's see here. This is what it looks like when you pick. It's just polling cycle. There are no teams. There are no assignments. All you worry about is polling cycle. So it literally per second is polling. These came in this second, this came in the next second, these came in the next second. I do a lot of presentations in my non-acting classes, my non-acting and tech theater classes, like the intro class and speech classes. I do a lot of presentations. This is a way for students to kind of evaluate as it's going. In my 1010 class especially, when we do a lot of presentations, that way the students have their clickers and I prompt them every 10, 15 seconds to hit it. This is an example of a demographic assignment, right? I've just assigned a demographic thing and question, and what I'm looking for is to see what people think and how they think about something. Reset the session before I exit. You can save or don't save. Don't save. You can reset this thing so that when you bring it up the next time, because I know you use the same PowerPoints over and over and over again. I mean, I do on certain things too. So, but what it allows you to do is save that as a clean session so that you can start all over again. Couple of things. You see this save right here? You can save a session so you can see how the students responded and what worked and what didn't work. Cool? This resets the session. If for some reason you're talking to your students and you need to change a slide or you want to ask another question and insert another slide, you can do that. You can do that. You can stop and put another slide in like this and whatever it is, all right? Hit save. Go back and then you can move through. I think you can move through it. Yeah, you can. All right? So I want to talk about Turning Point Anywhere. Okay, what I just imported was a question list. Okay? You can create a new question list if you want to, but I did this on my computer in my office. So that, there we go, we'll do this. Now I'll go back to polling, hit anywhere polling. Look! Now watch this. On this, I have a picture, obviously, I'm on any website. I can do this over top of anything on any website. But understand that this Turning Points has turned into a powerful tool that we can all use. And it deserves a look at. And I hate standing here. First of all, because I can't stand still, probably, is probably the biggest reason. But another reason is it's another layer of me being away from the students. It's bad enough they're in desks and usually in rows. But with this and this, I can now walk anywhere and still instruct. That way, if I'm in a class like my rigging class where you have to do calculations, you have to learn calculus, basic calculus, in order to figure out loads and stresses and vectors and all that other stuff. I can be next to a student and adjust the board as I go along. You know, I can run through a PowerPoint if I'm doing Turning Point. If not, I use SlideShark, and SlideShark you can actually draw on the slides themselves from your iPad. So that's SlideShark.